What is going on YouTube? Hey, I'm back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. Specifically in today's episode, we have to touch upon what we discussed over the weekend here and then kind of see if it's going to happen this week. That's really the main focus. Now, if you missed this weekend's videos from yesterday and the day before here, we talked about the fact that there's a lot of uncertainty kind of pooling within the markets right now, and there's lots of hints at potentially correcting lower. Now, if you've been a long-term subscriber on the channel, you know we kind of switched from 80% bearish to 70, and now we were 50-50 as we started to reverse rally back up here. But the past two videos we talked about over the weekend how we're kind of filling in the gaps here and things are not looking too hot, and there's a big chance that we could start to correct lower. And when that happens, and if that happens, we could potentially see a drop to the downside. Now, I apologize for yesterday's video coming out a little bit later. I do have a head cold. I don't know if you can tell. Hopefully you can't, because that means it's going away and it's doing well. But over the weekend, I did develop some sort of small head cold that I'm getting over. It took me a little longer to make these videos here because, I had to keep blowing my nose, making lots of cuts and, running to the bathroom to take meds and stuff like that. So it's been a pain in the butt to actually make these videos, especially today's, as I just have a lot of like post-nasal drip. So it's a pain in the butt, but I don't want to talk enough about that. I just wanted to update you if you guys were wondering why yesterday's video came out so much later than normal here. But we're talking about the fact that we're seeing a lot of this consolidation and it could lead us to a potential correction in the markets here. You can see XRP has kind of broken down where it's retesting its bottom support here. We have Ethereum kind of breaking back down inside its sideways channel here after breaking bullish, getting stopped out, of course. Bitcoin correcting lower here. This could have been a massive bull trap, and now we could potentially see correction. And the S&P 500 is also on the brinks of potentially correcting to the downside. If I was a betting man, that's probably where I would suspect a lot of these cryptos to pull down to. Now, XRP is trading indifferent, and we will talk about that. So for the time being, we will be separating XRP as its own entity from Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the S&P 500. I think that's its own separate entity, combining those three, and the XRP charts is separate as well. Now, before I dive into the technical analysis, I want to give a huge shout out to Aura for sponsoring today's video. For those that don't know, Aura is rated #1 in identity protection services online, which is super cool. Lots of people get their home security, cameras, Ring cameras, and all that stuff. But because, online and your phone and internet is becoming such a huge part of your life, not many people are considering and thinking about online identity protection, credit card protection, stuff like that, your social security. And that's a big, it happens to a lot of people. You might not realize it or not, you might not realize it, but that is something that happens. People do get scammed. So Aura is a way that can help you manage that by offering a bundled service, which is super cool. So more information about Aura will be later on in today's video, but you can definitely check the link out if you want earlier. It's in the description. But with all that being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's dive into today's episode. So guys, diving into the technical analysis, quick refresh shows us markets are down about 1.2, kind of floating at about $1 trillion here. Markets are consolidating over the past 24 hours. They're either up or down no more than maybe 1 to 2% here across the board, which is fine. A lot of consolidation taking place here. And I want to separate XRP from these other cryptos. So we'll talk about XRP first, then we'll look at Aura, and then go into S&P, Bitcoin, Ethereum, which is very important. So stay tuned to the end of the video for that. But in regards to looking at XRP right now, the reason it's separate is because it's retesting its moving average and bottom and price floor here. It supports here, while Ethereum is so much higher from its moving average. Same thing with Bitcoin on its daily. XRP is right on top of it. So XRP doesn't look as bad compared to all these other cryptocurrencies, even though it is kind of breaking downwards here. And you can see if I jump, to the 4 hour, let me just pull up the 4 hour here. You can see we're kind of teeter-tottering on a support level here. For the most part, we've been creating some sort of high or low retest for quite some time, still doing it here. But you can see as this is developed here, as we were starting to see this consolidation, we started to see some sort of higher low symmetrical triangle forming, filling in the gap, and we kind of broke bearish from that, correcting lower. But we're now retesting the 4 hour moving averages here, becoming near overbought, and kind of consolidating on the price floor, which could inevitably allow us to break upwards here. But with the way the rest of these cryptos in the markets are moving here, I think there's a bigger possibility we'll probably consolidate maybe see a small drop, but mainly just consolidate here and then see a continued correction to the upside here. I truly believe XRP is independent now from its predecessors here. So I believe Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be doing something different from the way XRP trades here. Now, again, it doesn't really matter for the most part here because, as you know, I haven't really put in any leveraged trades that are really aggressive here in the short term. We've been pretty much long on XRP since confirming the break above the major purple resistance in, when was this? January 9th here. So it's been over a month, but you can see clear as day here that we've been in a massive descending triangle for a very long time, creating lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, filling in the gap, rejecting off the purple downtrend here. And finally, we hit 30 cents as a support, which we pretty much developed, I'd say early July here, used it as a support and confirmed closing above the major resistance, which was huge. The second we saw closure at 38 cents, that's when we bought in here. And since then, we've been rallying to the upside. It's been a small, very small run, but this is a conservative long-term play. We are up at most 9.5%. Currently are up about 3% here, which is fine. But I do and am a strong believer that we could see potentially, maybe we'll fall lower. It's possible. Regardless, I do believe we will slowly make our way to a price target of about, I'd say, 53 to maybe 71 cents here. And the reason I can justify that is because I do believe the markets are cyclical. They happen in 3 waves over a 4-year period. And you can see, since confirming the previous, you can see that there are 2 purple downtrends here. We have the bull market, the downtrend, the bear market. Then we have this consolidation period, which I think we've entered right now. And you can see the price has managed to swing up to its moving average right here, which is kind of what we're doing now, trying to break into that moving average, which is why I believe that here. But if I grab the bars pattern from the point of breakout here and move it to right before the bull run, you can kind of see that's the pattern that we're looking for here, which would swing us up to a price target of about 94 cents. I'd say more on the moderate scale, and conservatively in between 54 and maybe 72 cents here. That's kind of that conservative outlook here. So I am very much so bullish on XRP long term. Short term, I'm not really getting involved in it, but long term, I'm very bullish. Do you want to talk a little bit more about Aura really quick with you, though? I want to give a huge shout out to Aura for sponsoring today's episode. So guys, online crime has soared over the past couple of years, but oddly enough, we aren't really doing much to protect ourselves. People spend billions on home security, yet nothing on online safety. And as you know, the digital world is rapidly changing, and it's time to rethink how you should protect yourself and your family. As we spend more time on our devices and are increasingly dependent on online services, our personal information has become more vulnerable than ever. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there have been some massive data leaks recently. OpenSea, Binance, Axie Infinity, just to name a few, and I know there's a lot more. There have been over 1 billion user records compromised, and there have been so many leaks that people really don't have a clue how to protect themselves anymore. Now, this puts you at risk for credit fraud, identity theft, stolen seed phrases, and even passwords. That's where Aura comes in. Boston-based Aura sets itself apart by being a one-stop shop. While many competitors offer monitoring and account tracking, Aura goes a few steps further by providing antivirus, a password manager, and even a VPN service as well. Now, Aura offers continuous monitoring of your data and will notify you quickly if it detects your personal information has been compromised. They will even help you resolve any potential fraud threats. Plus, their app can encrypt your Wi-Fi connection and protect your phone and computer from malware. Aura, at its core, is an identity theft protection company that helps people monitor their personal information to protect it from hackers, data breaches, malware, phishing attacks, and other threats to their digital security. Now, it's an all-in-one identity, credit, and device protection system that comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee for annual plans and includes a VPN, antivirus software, and a password manager. Now, on that note, it offers 3 types of plans: an individual plan, a couples plan, and a family plan. Now, while the cost of these plans can change and seem higher than maybe some other competitors at first glance, as mentioned before, Aura does some things others don't, like the antivirus and VPN. Now, on the plus side, Aura also does offer a 14-day completely free trial period, and if you're skeptical or even uncertain if you may need the software, then it's free to try out. Now, although Aura was established only 4 years ago, Aura is seen by investors as a leading provider of digital security and identity theft protection services. It raised over $200 million in its Series F funding round and was valued at $2.5 billion. Aura also has a Trustpilot rating of 4.8 stars out of 5 and an A+ grade with the Better Business Bureau. So guys, if you want to check out Aura, then make sure to go to aura.com/cryptotv or check them out with the link down in the description below. Otherwise, shout out to Aura for sponsoring today's episode, and let's get on with the rest of the video. All right, so diving back into the technical analysis to wrap up today's video, I am looking at Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the S&P, and I am starting to kind of get weary of the possibilities of a break to the downside here. As you guys can see with Ethereum, we were pretty much bullish on the symmetrical triangle if we confirm closing a daily above this major resistance here. That's what we were hoping for, praying for, and we managed to actually close here. But you can see just as quickly as we traded above here, we got hit, stopped out as we hit our stop loss here, and here we are starting to correct lower here, unfortunately here. And you can see there's a good chance that now that we're back inside our sideways channel, which I don't know if you can tell, but we've actually retested in the past here, because we've managed to retest this level here. And you can see we've rejected off of this. There's a very big chance now that I'm speculating a possible correction. We're bearish on the MACD here. We are bullish on the daily, but there's a good chance that we could reject from this and fall down. And I'm almost expecting a $1,500 retest, or maybe even somewhere all the way down to about $1,400 retesting that level there, because we're consolidating inside of here, and because we're rejecting off this resistance. Now, because I said they're pretty much in sync, I believe, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the S&P. You can see Ethereum is very much so higher than its moving average here. Same thing with Bitcoin here. They've been pretty much acting very similar in regards to their breakout patterns here. The fact that we're seeing a bull trap here. We had this beautiful ascending triangle. We broke bullish, swung all the way up to 24K and immediately dumped here. Had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of just straight rejection here. I have a very good gut feeling that we are going to be correcting lower to 21K, if not to moving average at about $19,000 to $20,000, $19.8 to $20,000. The reason I believe that this could very much so happen is when we look at the S&P, which is the main factor here. The S&P 500 is hitting a massive resistance right now. Now, I know it doesn't look like that on the S&P, but when I jump to, or on the daily, but when I jump to the weekly, you can see we rejected very nicely off this white band here, which has been a resistance on the S&P for over 13 years now. Since 2009, we've been using this as a major support and resistance. So the fact that we're retesting this and most likely rejecting from it, I'm a strong believer, and I'm not a betting man, but if I was, that we are going to correct downwards here, probably to this level, and then maybe fill in the gap here. I don't think we have it in us to break out. I really don't. But that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video, and I do believe this rejection is going to cause Bitcoin and Ethereum to pull down with it this week. So it all depends on how we open today's candle, which is in about 2 minutes. So by the time you see this, we'll have our answers. I mean, I'd be shocked if we start to consolidate here, but I do believe we're going to be ending the week correcting lower here. But with that being said, smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.